And they have amazing products that we shall be seeing in a moment. And I can see the camera is on me, so I'm going to go straight into it. And just as well to welcome everybody who is joining us. Some of you are joining us online. We appreciate you for being here. And thank you so much for being here. This is the 2025 Absa Kenya Sustainability and Climate Report, and we are talking about building tomorrow together. Feel free to pass by me. We want to show people that we are in a beautiful place, Strathmore University. So this definitely is going to be a very engaging conversation, and we're looking forward to it. But first, if you can, please focus on the screen as I appreciate some of the entrepreneurs who are here. They'll be speaking about what they're doing in the ecosystem and going on. In the meantime, for now, please welcome the person seated next to you. Tell them, Karibu Sana to the 2025 Absa Sustainability Report. Yeah? And make sure you're seated to someone who looks sustainable. I don't know whether there's a look like that, but we will be having those kind of moments. Excellent. In a moment or so, you'll be seeing some of our guests coming in, even as we are showing this. But the easy and simple way for today is to have a good time, enjoy your time as well, and feel free to as well interact with us as much as possible, and I'll be sharing with us how we can do this. In the meantime, why don't you help me by appreciating our guests as they come in. A round of applause to them, please. Thank you so much for being right here. We appreciate you. As they say, a sustainable world is a world for all of us, and that's why we must ensure that we take advantage of the fact that as corporate and as private sector, we must be at the head of showing the course and showing the path. So thank you so much for being right here. In the meantime, could you kindly do me a favor? Ask the pastor seated next to you, who are you wearing? Not what, but who are you wearing? Ask that question to the pastor seated next to you. If they don't have an answer, it means probably they don't care a bit about sustainability, yeah? Because you need to know whether you are polluting or whether your tailor does those kind of things, eh? Lovely. And our guests are here, led by the PS. We appreciate you for being here. Asante Sana. Now, one more ask, if you don't mind. Could you ask them this question? Ask them this question as well. And the question is, how long do you take before you change your towel? Ask that question. Because, you know, some people, I know, there are some people who change it every day. Are they sustainable? There's some people who use it like 2 times. Are they sustainable? Do they care about the water that we use? But first, take attention to your screen. I want to feature some of our entrepreneurs here. If you could have all the sound in the room. Asante. All right. We are on camera now, and I have an amazing lady here. She's going to introduce herself and tell us what is she doing, and especially in relation to anything about sustainability. Karibu-san.
Thank you so much, Bwana MC. Good morning, everyone. My name is Pauline Okubasu from Azavi Foods. At Azavi Foods, we are building tomorrow, and we are hoping we can build it together in light of food security and climate action. What we do at Azavi Foods, we work closely with smallholder farmers to reduce on post-harvest losses. We are aware that 40 to 60% of our farm produce is lost between farm to fork. So we bridge the gap by doing value addition of fruits. Our seasonal fruits are dried mangoes, turn them into dried mangoes, dried pineapples, and other fruits. We'll be happy for you to stop by as we build tomorrow together. Thank you.
All right. So now that you have opened one, can I taste? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'll taste on your behalf. It looks nice and yummy. I'll tell you how it tastes later. But in the meantime, we have another team here, Miale Solar Clean Cooking. Karibu Sana, tell us something very quick for a minute.
Morning, everyone. So my name is Charles Atego from Miale Solar. So Miale is a Swedish-Kenyan-owned company that does C&I. So what we do is that we give you energy at zero upfront cost. So we fund commercial solar utilizing clean renewable energy to zero set your corporate carbon footprints. So Miale does, we tend to give organization clean and green energy at zero upfront cost. And we've done this across the country. Currently we are at 18 megawatts and still proceeding to do more. So you are most welcome to visit our tent here so that we can discuss further. Thank you.
Let's appreciate Miale, please, with a clap. Asante Sana. And finally, I am right here. We have an amazing lady here with beautiful bags. Tell us something about it, Maxi Ego Designs.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Lillian Maru, founder Maxi Gold Designs Limited. We are manufacturers of bags in leather, Nairobi, Kenya. Our sustainability program is based on the fact that we are producing in Kenya. Number one, we are creating employment for youths and even training them the skill of making leather bags. We are also making sure our environment is well taken care of by creating bags which are long life, which has long life, so you rarely replace your bag, and that we make sure the environment is well taken care of. Please feel free to pass by and see what we are doing. And we also thank Absa for holding our hands in making sure we create an environment for our young people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Maxi Ego Designs. And if you are seated next to a gentleman who doesn't have a man bag, tell them to visit Maxi Ego Designs. They will get one. Yeah, they have some man bags there. That's what they told me. Yeah. What are you carrying? I can see the C of KB. You have nothing, so you need one, right? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could kindly stand for the anthem so we can officially start. May we have the anthem.
Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you so much. Before you sit, I have a KPI by the media team and the social media handles team that we have a hashtag to tell the world that this is happening. And the hashtag will be actually what we are seeing around, building tomorrow together. And so because of that, please help me by helping me appreciate the people around you, the people who know you. And I can see people are getting ready already. So I can see even our CEO is getting set. Once you have done that, please feel free to take your seat, and thank you so much. Kenya, Mr. Yusuf Omari, Vincent Ogutu. We also have members of the Absa board and the executive committee. We also have distinguished CEOs in the house and leaders from government who I'll be recognizing and give them a chance to say a word or so. And even leaders from government, private sector, and development partners present here today, and representatives from academia as well. And in the house, you'll be happy to know that we have a lot of students as well who have as well joined us. Do you have students in the house? Can I hear them say hi? Excellent. That's how they say it. All right. Wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. From all the sectors that I've mentioned, with a shared belief that sustainability is peripheral in all our conversations. When you look around the room, for example, I know you can see a lot of colored things, beautiful things, but one thing stands out. They are all recycled. And you can see them from where I am. In fact, anybody who drives, I don't know where you take your tires after you change them. They can be beautifully put as places where you can have some good time. If you look around the walls as well, some of the plastic bottles that none of us here care about what we're doing. So, apart from just unveiling the report, we'll as well definitely shape the development journey and the conversations we need to be having constantly about what we are doing. So thank you so much once again for joining us, and I appreciate you for being here. To start them here, because this is their day. As we're saying again, building tomorrow together, and this is their future. I'd like to welcome Ahmed Rashid from the university. Put your hands together for them as they come. Karibuni sana. Welcome. You know, I was told these generations, you have to greet them well and invite them well. Karibu sana. Take your time. Welcome. Come over here. Say hello and quickly say a few words.
Good morning, distinguished guests, my fellow students. National Relations, Strathmore Environmental Sustainability Community. Currently, I serve as the UN Prime Regional Leader for Africa, And it's a pleasure to be here, to be part of the conversations. And to the organizers, thank you for engaging us. Yeah. And I believe this is a great step towards somewhere where we all want to be. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate him. Asante sana. Ian Abuki, thank you so much. Take your time as you go down. If you even want to take a selfie with the PS, anybody, feel free, all right? We appreciate you for being here, yeah. All right, Ahmed Rashid from University of Nairobi, are you here? Just checking whether Ahmed is here. Yeah, do it, yeah. Take your time. Awesome, yes. Marianne, just checking whether Ahmed is here. If Ahmed is not here from the University of Nairobi, we appreciate him. And even if Ahmed, okay, there is a representative, excellent, all right. If Ahmed is taking tea, let him take his time, all right? We are not in a rush for them, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Roslyn Linda, and I have been called here on ambush because Ahmed is kind of held up. He will not be able to give his speech. I'd like to say that I am happy to be here. I am excited to be here. It's the first time I am seeing faces I have been seeing on Citizen and KTN. And it's such a privilege. I'd like to invite you all here, and on behalf of the president, that is Ahmed, I'd like to say that you're all welcome to this place. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate her. She has spoken on behalf of the president. You understand his diary today was a little bit, but pass our regards, okay? But what a moment young people as well have in the stage. Yes, take your moment. If you want to take a selfie with them, you no longer have to see them on Citizen. I love the fact you mentioned KTN, where I come from. Thank you so much. We are together in this. That reminds me, my name is Maina Chege, and I am from KTN, and there's a show called The Trading Bell every Tuesday night. You'll see it. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate those students one more time. This is their day. This is their time. Building tomorrow together. That's our hashtag. I'll remind you every time so we can do that. But to welcome us, Charles Wakabi, the head of Sustainability and Corporate Affairs, is right here. Karibu sana, Charles, so he can start us off. Makofi tafadhali to him as he comes. Welcome. Charles did not have the privilege of saying his schedule kunta lao. You know, the president has that leeway. But asante, karibu sana.
Can I take a selfie?
No.
Good morning, everybody. You know, out there they say that Kenya is a very warm country. The Kenyan people are very welcoming. And I find that it is true when visitors come. But I do struggle every time I stand in front of a group of people and I say to them a greeting. And half the time people are... So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's more like what they say about us, and so really we should believe in it, and we should live it on a day-to-day basis. Thank you very much to all of you for creating time for agreeing to be with us here at Strathmore this morning. I was interacting with a number of people earlier, and there are two common themes that came out. One was that it's very cold. And the question was whether we are trying to give people a real experience of what climate change feels like. But the second one, Dr. Ogutu, was a lot of people, have always desired to walk into Strathmore, because Strathmore is this prestigious institution of learning. And this is my chance to say to all of you who wanted to come here for studies but didn't manage, today you can take a selfie, post it somewhere on your social media and say, I am at Strathmore. Look, it's really an honor for us at Absa to welcome you here this morning. We're here to talk about our sustainability journey, our sustainability agenda. This is the fourth sustainability and climate report that we are taking out to the market. We've done this for the last 4 years. Why do we do it? We do it because sustainability at Absa sits right at the heart of our strategy. It sits right at the heart of everyday decisions. And we owe it to yourselves and to ourselves that the things that we say we will do to you and with you, our partners and our stakeholders, that every once in a while we come out and we hold ourselves accountable and we give you a record of what it is that we have achieved. But much more so this morning is, yes, about reflection of what it is that we've achieved today, but it is a lot more about what we can build together. And so if you take nothing else from what I say here, take that we have our arms extended out to you as our partners, as our customers, to jointly reflect with us and say, how can we build tomorrow together? And if you're here and you're like me and you have young children, who are in this sort of heights, every day you wake up and look at them, and sometimes they ask, Dad, what do you do? So what does a bank do? And all that stuff. I'd like to invite you to a thought that when you look at them every morning, you ask yourself, is what I'm going to do today going to make a better world for these young children who look at you with so much hope in their eyes? Having said that, again, just to say we are joined here by public sector, by private sector, by development partners, and this represents really what it is that we would wish for at Absa. That we walk a journey that is shaping the future, but a journey that is not an Absa journey, but a journey that is a joint journey, with all our partners, with you who have ideas on how we can better do business, how we can better grow industries, how we can better grow our country. And that's the forum that we've created here today, is for us to engage. And so I am not here to make, long speeches also. My job here really was to open this morning and really welcome all of you to this moment of reflection, about things that we can do together as Absa being your partner. With that said, allow me to welcome Dr. Ogutu to come on stage, welcome us to Strathmore. And thank you very much for opening your doors for us to come to an institution that's very highly regarded. Karibu sana.
Our chief guest, Dr. Engineer Festus Ngeno, Principal Secretary, State Department for Environment and Climate Change, Yusuf Omari, CEO, Absa Bank Kenya, all CEOs present, representatives from government, development partners, leaders from the private sector, members of academia and research institutions, distinguished guests, welcome to Strathmore University. Karibuni sana. You can take all the selfies you want. We're so happy to have you here because you speak the same language we do. We really believe in sustainability, in social impact. One of our anchoring values is service to society. And all this falls within that. You can serve society, the planet, the world. And that gives us purpose. And that's why I say we speak the same language. Now, you might believe that good things happen randomly and that luck is a thing. And some people are lucky and others are not. But what I believe is that fortune favors the prepared mind. So the ones who seem to be lucky were actually intentionally going after success and going after impact, and it didn't just happen. So unless you set goals and have a strategy and then strive after them, those good things won't happen randomly or by just sheer luck. And that's why I love this sustainability agenda. You have clear goals and they have catchy titles. So if you look at the stage, these beautiful recycled boxes here, so you have SDG number 1 and number 2. So you have very catchy titles like No Poverty. Just pause and think about that. A world where there is no poverty. And unless you say it with that level of intentionality and that clarity of vision, we're talking about not some poverty, reduced poverty. We're talking about no poverty. Because we all know what it's like, either because we felt it, because you grew up maybe in a poor family. I did. I come from Eastlands, born in Madare. Might not be obvious now, but it's the fact. So either because you felt it or because you've associated with it. We know all the things that poverty brings with it, all the chaos, the dysfunction, the people pleading for help all the time. Things just can't happen. They can't access a good education, can't access good health. So many things go wrong because of poverty. So imagine dreaming of no poverty. And then on my left, you have SDG number 2, zero hunger. Again, very well expressed, zero hunger. We're not talking of hungry sometimes. Most times you're okay. We're talking of zero hunger. No one's hungry because they can't get the food. It's okay if you're doing intermittent fasting, so those of you doing it, that kind of hunger is okay. Go for it. But let it be a hunger that is self-inflicted and you actually wish to have it for some reason. Maybe you're an ascetic, you want to be tough, and some people fast because they're working on self-mastery. Great, do it. You want to reduce weight, go for it. But you can't get food no matter what you do because you're too poor, or I don't know what the climate's done to your place. There's no food coming out of the farms. We want that to be a thing of the past. So we're talking about zero hunger. So the beauty of this conversation is it's very intentional. You have very clear goals, very ambitious, because if it's not ambitious, there's no sense of purpose. And we all like to get out of bed for something that makes sense, that will be great. Life is basically a story. You're the protagonist. What's your narrative going to be? What's this mountain obstacle that you have to conquer, and how will you do it? So make the SDG goals one of your mountains. Try and climb it. And I like the fact that Absa is leading the way, so congratulations, Yusuf. If I may boast a bit, Yusuf is a past student. He's an alumnus of Strathmore. He did his MBA here, and I happened to be the MBA director at the time. So I like joking with him that I'm his headmaster. And then Peter and I were classmates as well. So Peter Ndegwa, and then James is here as well, James again. So we all studied together, and it's great just to see you guys here. Still talking the same story, still committed to changing the world. So I like the fact that Absa is leading the charge, and we congratulate you on this 2025 report, your fourth, and also your revamped strategy, sustainability strategy. And the beauty about this is you say what you're going to do, and then you do it and report on it. You hold yourself accountable. No one asked you to do it, but you believed in it and you set out to do it. And even though you don't have to tell us, you are telling us so that you're held accountable. I must admit I borrowed some lines from Julius, the COO of Absa. We were just chatting. And he was telling me, you know, every time these reports come out for the banks and everyone's looking at the profits, they're saying, these guys are just robbing us. They're just grabbing the money. Why don't you share some of that value with us? So there's this attitude people have when they see you being profitable. But if you see the facts, which is what a sustainability report is telling you, then that's the kind of branding that we should be looking for. So not the kind of branding that slick marketing communications companies can do for you, which most people might say it's neat, it's pretty, it's catchy, but is it true? So this is a different kind of branding. Let the truth, speak for you. Let your actions be louder than your words. So I love the fact that Absa is doing it this way. And I think the best way to make change is to be exemplary. So not just to speak, but walk the talk, and then be exemplary, be inspirational. And that's what you're doing. So kudos, Yusuf, kudos to the team from Absa. As Strathmore, we come in as your partners, and none of this can happen without all of us coming together. There are various ways in which Strathmore partners in sustainability, and we're happy to keep playing that role. One is research, finding out what might work, what might not work. We did it with solar, so we were the first organization, so not just university, but the first organization in Kenya to supply solar power to the national grid. So first of all, we believe in clean energy, so we said, let's generate clean energy for ourselves. Then we realized we were over capacity, so the rest is going to waste. Why? Couldn't we send it to someone who can use it? So we talked to the national grid, and they said we don't have a protocol to guide how the charging would work. All other independent power producers, we tell them when to switch it on. Turn on your diesel generator, send us power. And then we are charging at that time, then turn it off now. But solar, it's happening all the time. How would you go about interacting with an independent power producer who's using solar? So we came up with the protocols, the policies. We were the guinea pigs. We weren't paid for a while. We also learned how to make them pay us. So now we just mentor other institutions that want to do it. Here's how to do it. You don't have to go through what we did. We'll walk you through it. So that's something Strathmore is happy to do, just to research, test, and then ship out the best solutions. The next such experiment will be on green hydrogen. So we are partnering with universities in Australia who have done it, and we will test it, and we're in conversations with the government, and they said, yeah, you guys go ahead and do the experiments and craft some protocol, and let's see how that works. So we will do it. We'll produce it for ourselves to begin with. We'll make all the mistakes. Then we'll try and plug into the grid, and then we'll show people how to do it. So we're happy to use research as a way to promote sustainability. And then, of course, there are other ways. Skills, usually after you set up a system like that, you need the engineers who will implement it. So then we do training, skills development. We do it for the region. So we have people from other governments sending their engineers to be trained here, other corporates. We're happy to do skills development. That's what we do, training. And then there's innovation in this space. There's entrepreneurship. These are all ways in which we're happy to contribute. So we thank you very much for choosing us as your partner on this journey. And for any of you who want to walk it with us, we're happy to do it. We thank you as well for taking our students and showing them how sustainability works in corporate, getting them to intern with you, and then that becomes like a launching pad for them. So thank you for that. Please keep doing that. If your organization isn't doing that, we have members of this environmental club at Strathmore. They're just chomping at the chip. They want to get their claws on something and see how this works. So please come to us. We'll supply you with very competent students who are very eager to pursue this journey. And so please partner with us on that as well. So with that, I'd like to thank you all very much for being here. Once again, Absa, congratulations. We're also learning from you, so the report is very, very inspirational, I must say. I'm learning a lot on how to report sustainability, how to set goals. Fantastic. So I really invite you to engage with the report and to see what you can learn from it. So thank you very much, and once again, Karibuni Strathmore.
Asante sana Daktari, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. FYI, Doc just summarized, you know, in the academia, we normally give lectures of about an hour or two, and we appreciate you for doing this. That's an inside joke here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to draw your attention to the screen because we have some good reflections that are going to be displayed here. I would like you to just pay attention to it as the team at the back helps us with that.
My name is Charles Okabi and I work at Absa as the Head of Sustainability and Corporate Affairs. Now, for many organizations, sustainability is a buzzword, a small department that sits at the corner. Not the case at Absa, not at all. Here, sustainability sits right at the center of our strategy. It lives in the way we make our decisions both for ourselves as well as for our clients every day. It lives in the way we attract and retain top talent. It lives in the way we build our products for our corporate clients, for our business banking clients, for our everyday consumer banking clients. And so behind this big beaming brand that we've built that our clients love, it's really a truly deep-seated passion, a long-standing commitment and conviction to do business in the right way, in a way that makes a positive impact for our society as well as for the environment. Here are a few colleagues of mine to tell you just how we do that.
My name is Eva Wasuna and I am the Senior HR Business Partner for Enterprise Functions and the Culture Lead for Absa Bank Kenya. Lasting change starts with people, and I see our focus being on capability building, leadership development, and driving a diverse and inclusive culture. We focus on enabling our people through driving their skills and competencies so that they are comfortable to support a sustainable culture. A sustainable future starts with a workplace where people, purpose, and everyday actions grow together.
My name is Andrew Aweli, and I'm the Sector Head for TMT and Industrial at Absa Bank. Today, I'm excited because of the topic that we are talking about today, sustainability. And this is a topic that is close to my heart. Sometimes when I sit down with my children and we talk about life, we talk about this world that we live in, I do remind them that this world that we live in is a borrowed resource, and we owe it to our children to leave it in a better state than we found it. And I'm also happy that part of the job that I do at Absa Bank is to support our customers in their sustainability agenda, providing sustainability-linked loans, sustainability-linked facilities that help people move from emissions to clean energy, solar energy. And I'm happy to share today that we did support one of our clients, one of our key clients, who is in the renewable energy space, with facilities to better support our clients to drive the sustainability agenda. I'm delighted that part of what we do and part of the facilities that we are talking to our customers today, we do embed sustainability in it. And it's a great honor for us today to be talking about sustainability, because this future, this world that we live in, we owe it to the future generation.
Did you know that our post-harvest losses are reported to be as high as 40%? That is a staggering statistic if you think about it. It means for every production that we do, 4 shillings out of 10 is lost. My name is Daniel Munyambu. I am the current country agribusiness specialist for Absa Bank Kenya PLC. In agribusiness, we take matters sustainability very seriously. We have a responsibility of feeding today's generation without compromising the feeding capabilities of those that will come after us. Our approach towards sustainability from an agribusiness perspective takes 4 folds. One of them is access to actionable information. The other pillar is access to markets. The third pillar is on coaching and mentorship. And this is one that is very key for us. We do have programs together with our partners on coaching and mentorship and our technical assistance pillar to empower our customers in whichever value chain that they may be in. Whether you are a processor, whether you are a producer, whether you are an aggregator. Even if you are a smallholder farmer, we have programs for you to drive our sustainability agenda. And together, we are able to feed today's generation without compromising the feeding needs of those that will come after us.
My name is Lillian Maina. I head the Financial Institutions, Non-Bank Financials and Development Organizations desk within Absa Kenya. In this space, I ensure that we have correspondent banking relationships that are deepened. Our non-bank financials include the likes of insurance companies, fund managers, as well as the microfinance institutions. In this space, I also look after developmental organizations. These clients are critical in helping us keep in check with regards to impact to our society. As I do my day-to-day tasks, I ensure that we have capital deployment in the right sectors. I ensure that we have sustainability agenda embedded within each transaction that we undertake to do. And also that we remain cognizant to the socio-economic challenges within our globe and our country.
All right, let's appreciate the entire team. They're here. Thank you so much for that. And for those amazing reflections on the work that you do. We appreciate you for that. Before I invite the interim MD to come, someone just disputed what I said, and I had to come and prove it, that we have man bags. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. So if you need to look as formidable as I am, walk at the back there. She has told me today she has discounts. You never know. And it's a sustainable one. It can last you for 20 plus years. Thank you so much. A round of applause to her. There you go. Charles, you need one. We know that. You have been sponsored, eh? Excellent. Don't worry. And if you need some asset financing, Absa has it. But we'll talk about it later. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Yusuf Omari, the interim MD and CEO Absa Kenya, as he comes to give us the presentation of the report. And as he comes, Yusuf, don't worry, because one of your team members has already sponsored a man bag for you. So all is well. Karibu sana, Yusuf. Take us through the report.
Thank you. Thank you. I was asking Peter whether he knows what a man bag is, but clearly we are not used to this. Our Honorable PS, Dr. Engineer Festus Ngeno, quite a number of distinguished guests from the private sector, my friend Peter, who is there, Judy, one of our, very instrumental CEO in terms of the university providing, on the side of accommodation, Kirathe, Nasra from Kenya Green Building Society, so many, I could mention so many people here. KBA is also represented here. We have our board members as well. Caroline is in front here as well. Colleagues from the bank, our EXCO, senior management, development institutions who are here as well, and so many partners. Good morning. It gives me great pleasure to be here and to actually thank our colleagues who have arranged this. Every time we do launches, we find ourselves going to hotels, but which better place to be able to do this, at Strathmore. And as Dr. Vincent Ogutu mentioned, he was my headmaster. I'm trying to imagine which year that was. I think it was 2009 or 2008. We were the pioneers of the MBA program. And I can assure you that was not easy. Coming to school 4 days in a week and doing some homework. And of course, Dr. Ogutu doesn't make it easy for you, so you have to do your research. So really happy to be here and thank you for hosting us. You're actually the one who is leading in terms of sustainability, and that's why we said, let's come and do it here. If you ask who is selling power now, you can imagine Strathmore has been able to do the investment, and with excess capacity, they're able to sell to the grid. And I like your idea in terms of continuous innovation. You are still thinking of the next steps, including the partnership that you said with the universities from Australia. That is quite impressive. And please just make sure you tell Judy there from a Global Compact some of these innovations and where we are heading. We are really excited. Every year we've given a commitment as a bank in terms of our sustainability agenda. And we went out. We came up with 13 commitments. And every time we have to come on an annual basis to be able to showcase where we are, the key milestone dates, and the achievements that we are able to do in this era. But just before I go into the details, if you look at the operating environment, quite challenging, competing agendas, especially if you look at, for example, the geopolitical tensions, the risks that are happening, and all of this, you can imagine, in terms of just putting your priorities, that becomes a challenge that we have to make sure that within our boards, we have to strike the right balance. Our investors are demanding every time, to ensure that even as they're giving you the funding, the element of sustainability is quite high from the way they score, the way they appreciate their partners, and this is not a surprise to us. The evolving regulation, IFRS, S1, S2, this came back in the year 2024. We were early adopters in it, but then that regulation keeps on changing. We are now moving to, from a regulatory perspective, central bank, Kenya Green Finance Taxonomy, that is coming through, and we have to comply with this, and we expect regulations to continue evolving in this area. What we always say, ESG is profitable. And so you'll find quite a number of partners, be it on the side of renewable energy, be it the man bag that we're talking about, and I'm really impressed with all the exhibitors really embracing ESG at the highest level. I was discussing with Peter and asking about these rocks. And we are like, so what do these rocks have to do with sustainability? And so Peter inquired, and we said, we'll be having a very big vase here, made of all sorts of materials, but then you can be able to use bricks, which are just outside, you can be able to bring it in. So you can see continuously. We are really looking at how we make it safe, how you're using materials that can be recycled, can be reused, and this is a testament of what is in front of us. But even with this, if you look at the SDGs, only 36% are currently on track. So it tells you there's so much to be done in the years to come, and that's why we always come, we put our commitments, you get partners, and this report you will see today is all about partnerships to be able to get those strides in a much faster way. Looking back to 2021, the journey that we have taken, we are launching, this is the fourth report that we are launching today, but it's better to always appreciate where we started this. Back in 2021, you see the 5-year strategy. That's when we launched it. We came up with our 13 commitments in that year. Come 2022, we started doing our reporting. First sustainability reporting using the GRIs, Global Reporting Initiatives. By then, the S1s, the S2s were not there. So the uniformity of reporting became a challenge because quite a number of organizations were reporting to launch the foundation. And then 2025, last year, of course, operationalizing the Absa Foundation, reporting, adoption of the regulatory standards that I've mentioned, and more important, especially for a bank, it's the component of your portfolio, your assets that are related to sustainable finance, and you can see 30% of our portfolio, we were able to achieve that target. And then today, the next phase of our strategy. We've cleared the 5 years from 2021. We are going to appreciate those commitments to just see where we are. And then for us, we are defining the next cycle of our strategic sustainability ambition. Looking at the 13 sustainability commitments, of course, knowing we are a bank, most important is to put capital behind it. And through this, then you can be able to see under each of the pillars, on the bit on social responsibility, including diversity. Mumbi, our CPO, and everyone asks me what is CPO. People are so used to HR director, but Mumbi is, every time it becomes innovative, so Chief People Officer, that's what it stands for. but really keeping us to task with some of the commitments on the social side, diversity. And for us, when we look at diversity, be it on gender, but more interesting, and Dr. Ogutu should hear this, also in terms of the age of our workers. So it's not just diversity on the women and gender diversity, but we are pushing this. So for the students around in this room, just know we have a target in terms of how much of the component of our staff that will be youth. And we define youth, Mumbi will say 30 years and below. Shiera will tell you it could be 40 years and below. But for us, what is important is we just need to see that diversity defined and reflected across our entire organization. On environmental being responsible, quite a number of initiatives, including net zero carbon footprint, that we've put a target of 2050, but then we milestone dates. The beauty with S1 and S2, you can't just go to a far distance period, which then you say, maybe in 2050 I won't be here. So let me just put those ambitions. You have milestone dates, which is what we report on an annual basis. And then, of course, governance, putting strategy at the core, putting sustainability at the core of our strategy. And our boards making sure that we are reporting to it on a quarterly basis. On the management side, reporting on it on a monthly basis. And of course, we have a team that is running with it on a daily basis. Just a quick flip on our achievements on the 2021-2025 track record. On the environmental side, 41% reduction on our energy consumption. And this comes in terms of retrofitting our buildings with energy savings, bulbs. It comes to the areas of providing other sources of energy, solarization of our branches, which we've seen a reduction. Immediately you apply this in a branch, the bills come down by 30% immediately when you do this. And you can imagine we are not storing power. This is just the fact that we're on the equator during the days where we serve our customers. So the consumption of power for us at night, if you look at our branches, is quite low. But all of this contributing to the 41% reduction. On the side of growing the trees, 1.8 million. We've done this in partnership with quite a number of organizations. Definitely Safaricom. We did that in Kinale Forest. We've done partnerships with communities, especially at the coast with mangrove. It's one of the best trees you can be able to plant because of not just planting the tree, but making sure that it grows, when you look at planting mangrove trees, the success rate is so high compared to other species of trees, and hence why we found ourselves putting a lot of investments in that area. On the social side, 70 schools have benefited. We've created computer labs. And to make it impactful, we've chosen schools that have above 1,000 students, so that then when you look at scale, that will be evident. And then training, especially the students, and it's good we are here in Strathmore, over 300,000 students with ready-to-work programs that looks at skills on entrepreneurship, skills to do, can be able to, immediately you finish school, employable, but more important for us is really on the side of entrepreneurship. And then the last one is the one that we've covered on our reporting and of course on the governance and risk front. Ladies and gentlemen, the most impactful place that a bank can be able to do is through the balance sheet. That's where we play. So it's not just us as Absa looking internally, but then also the impact we're having externally. For the last 5 years, since 2022, we've channeled 204 billion shillings. Yes, 204 billion shillings on sustainable projects, with impacts coming on the side of financial inclusion, enterprise growth, climate action. And you can see the different categories that we have actually been able to make this a reality. So quite impactful, because you're not just talking about yourself as one organization, but then also in terms of where you're channeling funding, where you're putting strength to the economy to be able to push on the sustainable front. You can be able to see this just looking at this strategic cycle from 2021, and of course the impact that that has had. This calls for discipline. It calls for capital injection, capital commitment, and then over and above that, the partnership that I've mentioned creates all of this, because it's through these different initiatives that then you can be able to make this a reality. And with that, of course, we always say you will always get recognitions. We focus so much on the impact, but when the accolades come, they do two things for us. Number one, it gives us that independent assurance that, yes, you're executing on your commitments. That is very important. The second one is the importance of integrating sustainability in your strategy. And so you can see the impact it has. You have it on the strategy. On the culture side, our colleagues, the training, all of that comes through. And more important, the one I've kept on mentioning today, the element of partnership is also important as well. And so we clear with the 2021 to 2025 strategy. The next for us really is the next 5-year strategy cycle. And so when we look at this, we carry with us the sustainable value creation being a key focus area for us, the long-term value, the impact that these sustainability initiatives are having become a very focused area for us as well. And then, of course, I mentioned scale, and that's why the element of partnerships comes through. So with this, we have 4 pillars. Remember, we had 13 commitments. Now we have 4 pillars broadly reshaping and refocusing our next strategic cycle as far as sustainability is concerned. So the first one is to accelerate growth in sustainable finance, to support our customers and the transition that are in there. We've mentioned 30% of our portfolio. That means a target that we will be monitoring and, as mentioned, reporting to yourselves on an annual basis on how we are doing against this. And in there, the impact, a target of 1 million entrepreneurs is one core target that we are putting. Second pillar is on decarbonization efforts. We've mentioned 2050, net zero footprint by 2050, but then we have key milestone dates. And you can see 50% reduction in operational emission by 2030. That becomes a target that we are putting in this next cycle. The third strategic pillar on sustainability-related risk and governance, this has all to do with regulations. These will evolve. But now what becomes more interesting here is independent assurance. And remember, all this is proactively adopting them, yet they are not mandatory for us, but we are not waiting. Come next year, 2027, when we'll be standing in front of you here, we will have auditors giving independent assurance on the report that you'll be reading, which is so powerful, because now you're saying, over and above the commitment, over and above what we are reporting, here are independent assurers, big firms that can be able to confirm that indeed what you're putting in your report is what is happening on the ground. And so that will be one big focus area that we are bringing forward and ensuring by CAM 2027 we'll be able to do that. And then the last pillar there on embedding sustainability to our clients, to our colleagues. So creating an ecosystem where we are all of us working together. Putting sustainability academy to train, not just our colleagues, but also our suppliers and also our clients. And having advocacy, thought leadership in the areas of sustainability becomes a target that we will evolve, we'll make sure that we are running with this over this strategic period. So ladies and gentlemen, just to bring all of this together, We've put a summary of all the areas that we are looking at. For me, I think what is more important is the enablers. The strategic partnerships that we're putting there, using our foundation to make sure that we can scale this to another level. The brand that is behind these initiatives to make sure that we can be able to run with this. And then, of course, our colleagues and our client. Let me leave you with a quote, the last one there really, where we say, sustainability is no longer about doing less. It's not about doing less harm, but it's about doing more good. That's where sustainability is heading. So let me stop here. Thank you so much. I want to recognize all the organizers who have been able to make this, a reality. The partners, I'm looking forward to my man bag, and I'll provide one to our PS and Peter, because I noticed they didn't have any man bag. And just to make sure that we can be able to promote, our partners here as well. Thank you so much, and back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. Let's appreciate him. Asante sana. And just to remind Yusuf that I also don't have a man bag, but ladies and gentlemen, if your person sitting next to you has wrinkles and his skin is not glowing, and you look at their skin and they need to improve their texture, at the back there, we have another SME, and they're called the Monarch Naturals. All they do is organic, right? Excellent. Please wave at the people. Wave at the people. There you go. That's the lady. Appreciate her with a clap. There you go. I think everybody is a customer. Just checking around. So there you have it. Now, I think the leadership has spoken, but as you've heard, Yusuf doesn't do this alone. We have a few people as well behind him who ensure that this work is done excellently well. James again was seated somewhere near me. I was looking for you. This man, when you look at him, you know that we are doing very well in the CIB business. So, James again, quick one, a popcorn kind of conversation. What are your quick reflections on it? You're on camera, if I may excuse you, so you're able to say something very quick. Yeah.
No, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. I think for me, as I look around the room, I see like-minded partners, whether it's Acorn Holdings, Safaricom, Strathmore University, or partners working like IFC, etc., for whom sustainability is not a compliance exercise, but a key strategic pillar in the way they do their business.
All right.
And so for we in Absa Corporate Investment Banking, we commit that we shall continue to work with partners who are committed towards sustainability, and whether this is through renewable energy, using green renewable sources, whether it is solar, whether it is geothermal, or whether it's even smart agriculture, where we work with partners to ensure efficient use of water, or even the infrastructure space, where it's social housing, which is green in nature. For us, that's where we'll focus deployment of capital in Absa. Thank you.
Excellent. Let's appreciate James for that. Asante sana, part of the leadership. When they talk about CIB, I can see Moses Muthui is right here. How are you, sir? What are the commitments? We are looking at often 2030 is not far, and it's starting now, 5-year cycle. What are your commitments on that?
Yeah, no, thanks, Maina, and good morning, everyone. I think I come from the consumer business, so every day we serve people from all walks of life. When you study the Kenya demographic story, you see around 1.4 million young people turning 18 years every year. Now make that 7 million in 5 years. And for these people, for this demographic, the challenge is no longer financial inclusion. I think, mobile banking finance and digital finance has resolved that. I think the challenge that is residual is financial access. Access to credit, not just credit, but meaningful credit, insurance, investments, savings. And so having the power in their hands to inform their financial livelihoods through these meaningful financial products is where we are spending most of our times. And that's where the consumer bank really comes into play. Through digital innovation, what we're doing with data, smart marketing, community banking, and so on and so forth. And I think finally for me is a reflection on this entire topic of sustainability. The more the topic becomes invisible, the more successful we become. When we design the basic principles of how we design from day one, where we embed the thinking in building our products and financial services.
Right, thank you so much. Let's appreciate Moses on that. And you're sitting next to Renato. Renato, now I have a request so that the cameras can enjoy the moment. Could you kindly stand and share your personal reflection and commitment? Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Before I share my reflections,
Yes.
I just wanted to confess to Dr. Ogutu, and I was telling Moses briefly that I was an alumni of Strathmore, but I only lasted 2 semesters. Yeah, I think the rules were too stringent for me. And I'm actually shocked that James Agin is an alumni of this institution. So I think for me, many reflections. I was having a chat with Edward in the morning, and he asked me what I do at the bank. And I mentioned to him that the business I run is actually the backbone of the economy. So 7.4 million SMEs in this country. And when you talk about the impact and the vulnerability of SMEs to climate change, issues to do with market disruption, I think SMEs feel the brunt the most. For us at Absa, we've looked at this in a very totally different way, because in as much as we see opportunity, we see our role as that being of creating resilience in the SME economy. And there are many examples I can give. If you look at the work we've done in the agriculture space, around climate smart agriculture, water harvesting, etc., it's quite phenomenal. When you look at the work we've done for SMEs, just transitioning them into clean energy, and not only reducing their cost of operations, but that cost efficiency then translates to opportunities for them to create more jobs for the Kenyan economy. So it's really an exciting opportunity for Absa and the support we're providing to the economy. Thank you.
Excellent. You could pass the mic to Julius as well. He's right there. Julius Kamau, please go ahead. If you don't mind, you could stand. The cameras are going to have a good time with that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Maybe I can also say that I was an alumni of Strathmore. And I finished. I have the privilege of running the operations of the bank. And when it comes to net zero, there are some numbers that I want to share with you. Our emissions every year as Absa is equivalent to 84,000 trees. And our commitment is to reduce that by 50%. So that's 40,000 trees saved through the strategy. We've also taken an action to reduce our efficiency on resource utilization by 30%. Today we are consuming 29 million liters of water every year. And that 30% definitely is a big number. We use, I think the last time I checked, 23,000 reams of paper. And our commitment is just to reduce that also by 30%. Solarization, Yusuf talked about it. We intend to solarize all our branches. And to also, we've targeted about 46 branches also to embed recycling. So for us, we continue investing in technology, innovative solutions, so that we can make Absa a more resilient, more efficient, and environmentally friendly organization. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's appreciate him. And you know, the UN Global Compact Kenya is representing the push for gender sensitivity. It's important. So Mumbi, let us show them that we are well represented. Please, your commitment, please.
Good morning, everyone. I think at the core of what we do is ensuring that as an organization, we are sensitive to what sustainability means to us as an organization, but also to the communities that we serve. So when we talk about what we are training and the building the capabilities of our people, we are speaking to changing mindset. So when you listen to the leaders speak, this is just 3%. The leadership is 3% of our population, but we have a much bigger employee complement. And our commitment is to build these people, to ensure that they have the right thinking of what is sustainability and why is sustainability important. And we do that on an ongoing basis. So whether you're at entry level or whether you're the most senior person as Yusuf, we are asking ourselves, do you want... So our culture, when we think about our culture, the things that we talk about, the values, and how those values are embedding our behaviors on an ongoing basis to build a sustainable organization. So Yusuf spoke about the Sustainability Finance Academy, which will then touch everyone across the organization, plus some of our partners in terms of how we build the right kind of people who believe that sustainability is not good to have, but it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mombi, Chief People Person. If you don't mind, pass the mic as well to Diana, Interim CFO.
Thank you, Maina, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
There's an African proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. If you think about it, the wisdom goes beyond the planting, because for this tree to grow, you have to water it, if you want it to grow faster, you have to apply manure, and you have to protect it from the grazers. So you can say that, planting is a moment, stewardship is commitment. And that's where finance comes in. So we are stewards, and we commit to, number one, continue allocating capital. My friend James, Moses, and Renato have spoken in terms of how we support our clients. So where does finance come in? So we fund these clients, and we meet you at the point of your journey, whether you're starting off, if it's the eco loan, if you're in the middle tier through the business banking clients, and if you're a long-established business, if you're working with James. Number two, we have embedded it in our risk frameworks, and if you look at it, we use ESG as a tool for identifying opportunity in the market. Number three, Julius has spoken to, what we are doing in terms of solarization of branches, in terms of the recycling. So if you look at our costs, we can say with conviction that some of the costs we are optimizing using the ESG agenda. And if you look at our CTI as a bank, it's optimal because of some of those initiatives that we are tracking. Right. Lastly and finally, if you look at it from a measurement perspective, we are the core of measuring. We come to you, with a view of what we've been doing, how transparent we are, and the outcomes that we have. In fact, we were early adopters of the ISSB frameworks. So, in conclusion, yes. What I want to say, Maina, is that ESG is not a one function, kind of view. It's embedded in every function within the bank. And from there, we commit to augment or even double our portfolio from where we are to 30% of our portfolio augmented to sustainable finance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate the leadership for that. There were more, but because of time, I will give them time later on somewhere else, all right? In the house, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, we have distinguished guests as well who said, you know what, we appreciate what Absa is doing. And we had a chat with them, and they told me 3 minutes is even good enough, so that's what they're going to do. I want to start over by inviting the CEO, Kenya Bankers Association, Raymond Molenje. Please come over, sir. Karibu sana. He's the man who doesn't have a man bag and says he's a man of a few words. Karibu sana, Raymond, and thank you so much representing the entire banking sector. Welcome, sir.
To our chief guest, our PS, Engineer Festus Ngeno. In other quarters, we call you Engineer Nature. And then to Absa CEO, Yusuf, our host, Dr. Gutu, all the CEOs present and colleagues in the room. I was reflecting as Yusuf was taking us through the report. And there's one saying that comes from India that rings true to why we're here. And it goes like, as human beings, it's only until the last tree is cut, the last river has been poisoned, and the last fish has been caught. That's when we realize that the money we have in our pockets, we can't eat. Money is good. However, on this planet Earth, we can't make money without relying on nature. Because as we sit here, the water that we've been drinking, the tea we took in the morning, the clothes we are wearing, the shoes we are wearing, it's all nature. So until we get to that point to be able to realize that if you are not taking care of nature, there is no way you are going to make money. There is no way we will be able to have an economy. So very pleased with Absa Bank because you've worked with Kenya Bankers Association from 2015 when we began the Sustainable Finance Initiatives, being able to walk the journey on creating the awareness around nature, not majorly focusing on profits only, but being able to see that we have nature and the ecosystem to be able to prevent. I've looked at the highlights, and they address three things that are very key on credibility on any sustainability report. So one is on the clarity of the report itself. So is it talking on the risks, the opportunities, and even the performance of the organization? And then alignment, because now we have standards. Some are mandatory, some are still voluntary, and we've been able to see that all these are embedded in the Absa report. And lastly, there's the aspect of integration. And Charles indicated it very well on the fact that this is not a separate report from the core mandate that Absa Bank is undertaking. So as you execute your strategy, sustainability, matters, climate are there. I'll close with one reflection. And PS, you are around. We have a challenge within our country because our country is majorly agricultural. And all the value chains are all agricultural. But we are missing one point because we still heavily rely on rain patterns to be able to do our farming. If we can be able to change this, starting from government working with the private sector and banks coming in a big way, where we can look at how do we finance water for agriculture. In that across the country, every constituency, we need to have water harvesting capabilities so that we do our agriculture without relying on our rain patterns. I believe with that, we'll be able to create more employment for more of the Strathmore graduates and all the other graduates that are coming from our institutions, and really, we are navigating that challenge of how do we get employment. So let's reflect on that and be able to see how we change that trajectory to be able to focus on water financing. We are blessed, it rains at least once in a year. We can be able to harvest that and feed ourselves and feed our continent. I believe I've done my 3 minutes.
Yes, you're done. Let's appreciate what I see. Asante Sana Raymond for that. We appreciate you for that as well. In the house, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, we also have Ms. Judy Ngino, the Executive Director, Global Compact Network Kenya. A round of applause to her as she comes. And she is at the forefront of ensuring that companies ascribe to the sustainability agendas. And I know her chair is also here. I don't want to say much. Karibu sana, Judy.
Thank you, Maina, and a very warm good morning to everybody. Yes, allow me to first acknowledge the presence of our chief guest, PS, Dr. Engineer Ngeno, State Department for Environment and Climate Change. Dr. Ogutu, thank you very much for the warm hosting and the warm welcome to Strathmore. To the Absa leadership, the board members, the EXCO, and the entire team that's represented here, to the business leaders in the room, the students, the academia fraternity. We also have our principals for management education represented here, a very close partnership of the Global Compact in trying to instill sustainability within academia. So we are together as a community of, people that are convicted that this agenda is important. And so, Maina, as I reflect in those 3 minutes, the journey we've undertaken with Absa. Absa joined the UN Global Compact back in 2019. And I remember we had a session in 2020 really helping them to think through their sustainability strategy. And fast forward to today to see the milestones you have hit over and over in terms of the impact and the progress that you're making across your environment, social and governance commitments. It's really encouraging. And it's encouraging as I reflect back on 3 days of a retreat where we've gathered 80 countries across the UN Global Compact community, where we've heard from our colleagues, of course, in the northern part of this world, that sustainability no longer matters. And there are people who are having a very hard time to sell their agenda to global business leaders that sustainability still makes sense. But we are seeing in this market, in this sector, and of course with our participants like Absa, not only doubling down on efforts, but also pushing the envelope on what impact could look like and what, of course, partnerships can deliver in terms of unlocking greater progress and helping us to set back our paths, of course, to deliver on the 2030 agenda. So as I sit here and, of course, having that front row seat to see what the global community is doing, but also what the Kenyan private sector is doing, it's really encouraging. And I think for all of us, as we also reflect on where we are in this journey together, it's really about helping us meet the aspirations of humankind as we have, of course, articulated them through the Sustainable Development Goals. And I think you had the statistics. We are not on track. We only have 36% of those targets on track to be delivered over the next 4 years. And we are also seeing 49% of those goals moving ever too slowly, and 15% of them are regressing. And we, of course, see the operating environment we are in, the geopolitical tensions, the economic crisis that many of us are in. But we also see the resilience of the private sector and actors such as Absa in helping us, of course, set ourselves back on a path of progress. So for us at the Global Compact is, of course, to lend our commitment, our support to work with you in this journey, and of course to push you and to push, of course, your levels of ambition, that it's still not enough. And I think your theme today is quite apt because the only way we'll be able to achieve the progress and the impact that we seek within those timelines that we have set for ourselves is through the partnerships that's really embedded, of course, in our strategy. And so we look forward to working with you, Absa, and of course, the entire financial services sector. Thanks as well to KBA and the leadership that you're providing within the sector, as well as to the regulator. And we look forward to, of course, trying to see how we can also pull together the entire ecosystem. And that's why it's so critical that you also bring together your SMEs to be part of the story and part of the journey that you're driving. So for us is to just, of course, reaffirm that commitment that we are with you, to help you, of course, focus a lot of your goals on the global aspirations that we've all set for ourselves, because we're not working and pulling together in isolation. We have an agenda that we must meet, and it's in our self-interest as business communities, as people of this world, to be able to meet those goals within the timelines that we have set for ourselves. So thank you, Maina, and congratulations, Absa, on your 4th Sustainability and Climate Report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judy, for that. And just in case you're wondering why her face is so flawless, remember, the Monad Naturals are here to help you with that. Mr. Edward Kirathe is right here, the visionary who has redefined sustainable real estate development across Africa through innovation and purpose. Welcome, sir. Makofi tafadhali to him as he comes. Anytime you see Akon Holdings, Kwetu, and the likes, the man behind it is right here. So you better appreciate him better. You might get a keja. You never know.
Thank you, Maina, for that introduction. Good morning, everyone. Yes, to our chief guest, P.S. Ngeno, our host, my friend, Dr. Ogutu. We are neighbors. Sometimes we are good neighbors. Sometimes we are not so good neighbors. But I think we've learned to coexist together. Yusuf, thank you so much. Our host, the CEO of Absa. Thank you for inviting me to join you here for this day. As Maina has said, we are in the business of doing student housing. Student housing is a structural deficit in Kenya. We have over 550,000 students in universities and less than 40,000 institutional beds. So the shortage is really real. Now I think the reason Absa and Yusuf invited me here is to say a few things about our partnership. And I think, of course, for most of you, some of you know, we were the first to do a green bond in Kenya back in 2019. It was the first bond in Kenya to list on the London Stock Exchange. Remains the only bond to list on the LSE to date. And so for us, green financing has been a core part of our journey. And back after the green bond, we decided we are going to do another facility. And at that point, Absa came and decided that we should partner together. So in 2022, some of you might recall, we launched a Kenya shilling 6.7 billion green facility to deliver student housing. So far, I'm very pleased to say that we have delivered over 8,000 beds with that facility. And we are continuing to deliver more. It was interesting to see the report that Yusuf presented. So of the 210 billion, we now represent 5% of that because we've grown that facility from 6.7 billion to over 10 billion today. Yes, and 20% of your 2025 book. Now I see why your senior leadership keep looking for me every day. I can see that we are tied at the hip when it comes to green financing. Obviously, we have been able to achieve that by being pioneers of launching IFC Edge standards across Africa. In 2024, we were announced as an IFC Edge champion for green buildings. Last year, we finally achieved the 5-star rating from the Global Real Estate Sustainability Benchmark, and that is not in small part because of the green financing that we have put together with Absa. So that's not an easy achievement because it's only been done once in Africa. So again, that partnership is driving sustainable green housing in Africa, which we are very proud to be associated with you on. Finally, a few weeks ago, some of you were present, we launched Zinduka, a program, an enterprise program where we are going to turn out 10,000 entrepreneurs. And we've partnered with Absa once again to not only offer student housing loans, but also enterprise loans through that program. And I'm pleased to announce the first facilities have already been approved. And so we are already moving on that Zinduka program. So as you can see, there are a lot of touch points for us with Absa. And we look forward to continuing to build that partnership. Just last week, I hosted the senior leadership team from Absa from Joburg. And so we are very keen to continue growing that partnership. And we would like to congratulate Absa for being a true and reliable partner in this journey for sustainable financing. So we look forward to doing more together, and thank you very much for having us here. And congratulations, Absa, for your achievement. Asante.
Thank you so much, and continue on with that vision of enabling students. And I know there are many students as well who benefit from that. Thank you so much for that. To cap this up, ladies and gentlemen, in the house as well, we have the man leading the largest telecommunications company to a more digital and sustainable future right here in this part of Africa. Please put your hands together for Dr. Peter Ndegwa. Makofi tafadhali. Asante sana, the CEO Safaricom. I dare also say the neighbor, right? Excellent, Karibu.
Thank you, Maina. Good morning, everyone. Hi. You guys didn't get breakfast. Good morning, everyone. That's what I normally do in Safaricom. There's no time I ask people to say good morning once. I think it is a Kenyan thing to say good morning in a light way. So first, I am very happy to be here, and I want to say I don't have a tie today, not because I don't own ties. I like man bags, but because this is the second event that I'm attending for Absa in the past week. Last week I attended an event where Absa was hosting, and I was one of the few who had ties. So today I decided I'm not going to come with a tie. Yeah. So I joined the bankers to have tie, and I realized all the guests did not wear ties. So today I decided I wasn't going to wear a tie. So first I want to acknowledge the PS and also a great partner of ours at Safaricom. We do a lot of growing trees, so we actually partner a lot with the ministry that Dr. Ngeno looks after, and really delighted for that partnership. Then, of course, before I go to Yusuf, I want to acknowledge Dr. Ogutu. I wouldn't say what we used to call him. The students know, but actually I will say we used to call him Vini. I wouldn't get away with calling Dr. Ogutu Vini in the University of Strathmore, in Strathmore University. But I'm also an alumni of Strathmore, and I did finish. Unlike some people, I'm looking forward to when they attend as clients, and they're asking for work, and they didn't finish school. So I finished my CPA here, and also we were the guinea pigs of the advanced management program that Strathmore runs. So thank you, and it's fantastic to see you again, Dr. Ogutu. Then, of course, Absa's Yusuf, my friend, and the CEO of Absa, thank you for inviting us. Thank you for, very happy to be here. We've partnered together in many things, growing trees. Of course, he's talked about sustainability-linked loan. We were one of the ones who are contributing to some of those numbers. We also did a green board, which Absa also participated. So thank you, Yusuf, for inviting us. But congratulations for your launch. I know that Absa in this country, Absa and its predecessors, is more than 100 years old. And as we are only 26 years, so we are still a Gen Z at Safaricom. Absa is a great grand, but in sustainability piece, we are the grandparent, because we will be launching our sustainability report, the 15th of them, the 15th sustainability report for Safaricom later in October. And delighted that I am teaching my great-grand father or mother. But even if you are launching it for the first time, there is so much learning. I've learned so much today. I can see how we can partner together. And thank you, Yusuf, for inviting us. And then the second thing that I learned, which was very useful, just interviewing the senior people and asking them how the role they play. It brings to life that this thing is not just about the CEO, it's not just about the board, but it's about being embedded within the organization and the ecosystem. And knowing Absa, I can confirm that I've seen evidence of that in our interaction with Absa. The other the other theme that I wanted to talk about, I've been given 3 minutes, I know, is partnership. We can't do it alone. There's no way any single person can actually change this world without partnership. And sustainability is everywhere. Last night or yesterday in the afternoon, I actually went to run in Karura. And without Karura, there will be so many people who will not have that chance, especially during COVID, to go and find a place for recreation, for family. And today it has become part of our health and safety kind of routine, many of us, at least for those who run. There's one person who I'll not name from Absa who was telling me that they are unable to close this button. So I'm inviting that person, I won't say who it is, to join me in taking advantage of the sustainability whatever of Karura and also solve his own sustainability issues. And then, of course, Edward, you've talked about student housing. Some of you know that I'm actually a chancellor of one of the universities in Kenya. I would take you up on that one. And this is the advantage of actually coming here. Then I just wanted to say one thing about what we have learned in the 15 years we have actually been launching this thing. One is purpose. So we need to lead from purpose, because the why is what allows us to do all that. And I thank you, Yusuf, for actually demonstrating and bringing this to life today. The second is measuring and ensuring that there's also a third party that allows you to confirm that what you are saying is appropriate, and we've been doing that. And measuring and setting the ambition, but also measuring it. But the most important, by the way, is doing. And I think we've seen evidence that Absa is actually doing what they actually say they will do, despite the fact that they have only done it for a shorter period. So if there's one thing that I will challenge everyone, whatever our ambition is, whatever we measure, the most important is actually bringing it to life. And I'll give you one example. You know the Iran war, of course. Our business, Safaricom's business, half of our network costs, the network cost, is actually energy. Yeah? And we made a commitment a few years ago to make sure that by 2030 we will have very little diesel, or almost no diesel, because we can't avoid diesel, especially in remote sites, because you need to still have the backup. But today, by the end of this financial year, we'll have half of our sites having solar and modern battery. So it will all be, so we will not be needing to use diesel. So if KPLC went out, we would actually be able to avoid using diesel in those half of our sites. And by 2030, we'll have done it across all our network. And then have installed AI so that it allows us to see which fuel source you use, depending on cost and how green it is. Yeah? Yeah, and that's quite important. And also on the diesel usage itself, because of using AI, now we have been able to reduce our use of diesel just purely from using AI by 30%. That's all evidence that sustainability does work. So I'll say in closing, doing good is good for business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Peter. A better round of applause to him. As you've heard, neighbors are not rushed. Now, Asante Sana. Thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you the only remarks now is from our keynote speaker of the day. But before I do that, I just want to do a health check because we're in a sustainable event. So if you don't mind, is your neighbor up and running? All good? So far, so good? All right. Just check on them, check on them. If they're not, you can shake them. You have the permission. All right? Lovely, lovely. Excellent. Actually, if you don't mind, could you kindly, for only 5 seconds or so, stand up, stretch, then take a seat. It's okay. It's all right to do that. After about an hour or so, do your thing, do your own thing. Thank you so much. You may take your seats. Asante sana. Judy, I think I have a challenge for you. From the remarks from the chief guests here, who actually, they have signed up to you. I've heard them talking about Karura, running, all those things. I think there should be a challenge here, all right? Maybe a 5K challenge at Karura, birthed by Absa because you're at our own event, you know, that kind of thing, all right? And then we go to Karura and do a quick run, you know, that kind of thing. It doesn't, as many of that opinion say aye. Ah, see, the eyes have it, nothing else. Please put your hands together for the PS, Dr. Engineer Festa Ngeno, the government's leading voice in advancing Kenya's climate action and environmental sustainability. Karibu sana, Daktari, and I hope you'll join us for that challenge. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, and appreciate it. Peter, I can close mine. so I'm good. Allow me to recognize the CEO Absa, Yusuf Omari, our host VC, Dr. Okutu, the CEO of Safaricom, Dr. Peter, CEO Kenya Bank Association, Raymond Molenje, CEO Akon Holdings, Edward Kraite, the Global UN Bank Judy, the Board of Absa Senior Management, Captains of Industry, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. Yeah, that's Kenyan, Peter. So we have to say good morning to just confirm that guys are up and well. Allow me to just make just a few comments before I do the speech. That I'm so excited to be here as on behalf of my Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Deborah Barasa, in charge of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, that we are happy as government to be part and parcel of these conversations as industries launch their sustainability report. So we are really delighted to be here. And listening to the report, I see the deliberate efforts and attempts by Absa, congratulations, to decarbonize the economy, whether it is on tree growing, solarization, circular economy, waste management, and everything that we do. We really truly appreciate. And looking at the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, and waste management, which is a key thing that we are focusing as government, and also as a country, it is important that we really work together to deliver on a low resilient carbon pathway of our economy. 3 comments before I also make the speech. There are 2 things that are happening. You know, climate change is real. This is so important for you. The vagaries of climate change are here with us. We've been on this journey together. And you've heard the president, who is our climate champion, focusing on this conversation, whether in Kenya, Africa, or global. And in Kenya, we have 2 things that we are working on or facing. One is that you are aware that in the onset rains of October, November, December, we have announced through the Kenya Meteorological Service Authority that there will be an El Nino. All right, and you know what that means. 2 weeks ago, we were at an index of 1.7, positive 1.7. That is a differential on global temperatures between the west and east of Pacific and the Indian Ocean. A week ago, last Friday, when His Excellency the Deputy President convened us, the index has increased to 2.4 positive, meaning there is a 96% chance that we are going to have sustained rainfall or El Nino in the months of October, November, December, and even crossing over to January. And that brings me to the comment from the CEO of Kenya Bank Association that we need to be able to see how do we take the opportunities of high rainfalls coming in and be able to harvest as much as we could to be able to deliver on our agriculture. Tied to that is that you will also be seeing, and this is important from us from the Kenya Met, as we provide these reports, climate reports, that in the food basket counties of Uasin Gishu, Trans Nzoia, and the rest of the North Rift, that the rains came earlier than usual. It came in February. The farmers were not ready. So in March, when we went to meet the farmers, we were having a conversation whether they wanted to start plowing or they wanted to start planting. And that is why you'll be seeing that there is a challenge of the food security, and therefore the rains fail by May. You know, the no-thrift farmers usually do their planting in the month of March, or prepare the farms in the month of March, planting in April. And therefore that's a challenge, that's climate change issue. But the fact that the rains came in February or early was a sign that El Nino was coming. It was a very strong indicator for us, and we did communicate this. The South Rift, Narok, I think that is where we have a lot of pump harvest because they were already earlier on. And that ties to the third item that I needed to bring. For those of us who traveled, there is this phenomenon happening within the country on the lakes. We call it the rising waters of the lakes, or the rising lakes in the Rift Valley and Lake Victoria. And it is a real threat. I'm speaking to this to the private sector because that is a report that we are working on. That, for example, Lake Bogoria and Lake Baringo, in the 2020-2021 scoping report, when the rising lakes started up, of course it has been a phenomenon that's been happening since 2009, that the differential, the difference between the two lakes was around 13 to 14 kilometers. As we speak, it is 9 kilometers. In 2020, Lake Baringo almost, within a meter, almost spilled to Lake Bogoria, and you know what that means. The other one is saline, the other one is fresh water, and it's a threat that we are looking. So with a sustained rainfall that is coming up in El Nino, so the government we are putting in measures to ensure that doesn't happen. Lake Naivasha, for those who have been there, there's an estate called Kihoto, which is already wiped out because the lakes is rising significantly. Lake Nakuru, you had the conversation between the NEMA team, the DG NEMA and the KWS in terms of the fish, and the fact that half of the wastewater treatment system, which is having Nakuru City, is inside the lake, and that half of Paru award there is submerged. So the fish has come to the kitchen, and that people are not going to do the fish, but the fish has come to where people are living. Lake Turkana, there are 3 islands there that are really under threat of getting fully submerged. So it's a real thing that for you to understand. Lake Victoria, Busia sub-county or county, one of the sub-counties is underwater. So it is a thing that we need to be alive as we work. And it is important to note that it happened. For historians, you need to know that 5,000 years ago, at least that one I know, or to 8,000 years ago, Lake Bogoria and Lake Baringo was one lake. So that separation is so temporary, for your information, that it can easily meet. And therefore, it is something that we need to converse, even as we look at the issues of climate change and what we deliver and what we communicate as government. But one assurance is that we are well seized as government, and therefore we are working round the clock to make sure that we alleviate any challenges that are going to be brought by the threat of the El Nino. And you will be seeing a lot of conversations and invitations to you to support, even as we work together with the various multi-agency government agencies that we'll be looking at. So I thought that it's important for you to note, as captains of industry, the threat of El Nino, climate change, and that it is not things that we just talk. It is things that are within our reality. And the Kenya Meteorology or Kenya Met Department are working to disseminate the information as much as we could for us to be prepared. Thank you so much. So I thought I needed to bring that, and that ties to the fact that we are working closely with the state departments of water and sanitation, irrigation, agriculture, livestock, and see how we can be able to harness the waters for our rain-fed, moving from rain-fed agriculture to irrigation agriculture. Therefore, it is my pleasure to join you today for the launch of Absa, Banks Kenya's 2025 Sustainability and Climate Report. And Peter, we are looking forward to coming to the 15th one. Now, I was asking you, when are you launching yours? Because as government, we are eager to participate and support you. So kindly invite us. I can assure you we'll come. And it is good for us as government. You know, out of these climate reports is when we can be able to generate what we are calling the National Climate Outlook report for the country. So we put these reports together. And therefore, when we see industries doing this, we are so happy. And that is why we usually don't miss coming to participate. From the onset, I would like to thank Absa for consistently organizing this event. I was with you the last one, last year with Absa again, as a platform to reflect on the progress, share lessons, and strengthen partnerships that advance Kenya's sustainability agenda. I'm equally encouraged, ladies and gentlemen, by the strong stakeholder representation from the government, academia, the private sector, development partners, and civil society. And therefore, this multi-stakeholder presence demonstrates our shared commitment to building a more sustainable, resilient, and prosperous future. Allow me to thank Strathmore University for hosting this important event. I am not an alumni of Strathmore University. I have been wanting to come to Strathmore University. I'm still having ambitions. I don't know what I'm coming to do. So like Peter, I've decided to look something on AI. So we are on the same page. So yeah, if there is something for Strathmore, because I think everyone who is sitting in the front row here is saying I'm an alumni of the university. Me, I just come from across the road from the university. There, you know, it has to. Yeah, I'm thoroughly inbreed on my 3 degrees from the University of Nairobi. Yeah, so I've never diluted with any. It is particularly befitting that we gather here today, given the institution's growing contribution to sustainability research, innovation, and policy dialogue. It is worth noting, ladies and gentlemen, that Strathmore, together with the University of Nairobi, will host the next edition of the Circular Economy Powered Renewable Energy Center, separate Kenya International Summit, further positioning Kenya as a leader in advancing green growth and circular economy solutions across Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, today is quite remarkable. It is a demonstration of strong leadership in sustainability of the Absa Bank. The report is evidence that the private sector is actively helping to shape solutions. And the achievements highlighted today show that sustainability is a strategic imperative that creates value for communities, businesses, and the nation. As government, we welcome and appreciate the commitment demonstrated by many of the partners represented here. And your investments and initiatives complement national efforts aimed at ecosystem restoration, and we truly appreciate the partners in that space: sustainable natural resource management, climate adaptation, pollution control, and green economic growth. Collectively, these efforts are laying the foundation for a climate resilient and inclusive development pathway. Listening to the advancements highlighted in this report, ladies and gentlemen, I was particularly encouraged by the alignment between Absa's sustainability priorities and the government's strategic focus on the following areas. And therefore, this alignment is critical because of achieving our national climate and environmental ambitions, which will require coordinated action and shared responsibility. Tree growing, ladies and gentlemen, and landscape restoration remain our central pillars of Kenya's climate strategy. I commend Absa and many other private sector organizations for supporting the presidential directives on the national goal of growing 15 billion trees by 2032. I'm happy to report that we are almost clocking to 2 billion of that initiative. It is not easy, and I call upon all the partners to participate in the tree growing agenda. The magnitude of the challenge before us is great, requiring even greater ambition. I therefore encourage Absa and other corporate leaders to accelerate your commitments and expand the scale of your restoration efforts. Every tree grown contributes to water security, biodiversity conservation, carbon sequestration, job creation, and community resilience. The State Department, where I lead, continues to prioritize landscape restoration through partnerships involving national and county governments, local communities, development partners, and the private sector. And therefore, achieving Kenya's target of 30% of our national tree cover will require sustained action across all ecological zones, from drylands and wetlands to our critical water towers. Our restoration approach is not just contributing to restoration, it is generating economic opportunities through settling forest landscape, enhance ecosystem, health, while improving livelihoods for the various surrounding communities. We are also witnessing tangible results, ladies and gentlemen, from the whole of society, whole of government approach. Uniquely, the Adopt an Ecosystem strategy is reporting impressive results. For example, the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program, which is led by my colleague P.S. Kipto of National Treasury, which began in 2017 with the restoration of just 50 hectares, has now restored more than 3,500 hectares of forest landscape. Similarly, and thank you so much, the partners that have been here, I've been judged to lead the Mau Forest Complex Integrated Conservation and Livelihood Improvement Program. Thank you so much, Peter. Safaricom has been our biggest sponsor and other private sector players, where I patronize, and we have already restored 1,600 hectares of degraded land into active restoration site and facilitated the planting and growing of 1.6 million trees within the last 11 months. This achievement, ladies and gentlemen, demonstrates what is possible when government, communities, and partners work together with a common purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, sustainability is not only about conserving natural resources, but also about rethinking how we produce, consume, and manage waste. I commend Absa for its efforts in advancing waste management and circular economy initiatives. These efforts align with the government's broader strategy to address pollution, strengthen environmental compliance, and promote resource efficiency. Through the enforcement of environmental regulations and the operationalization of the Extended Producer Responsibility Framework, EPR, producers are increasingly taking responsibility for the full cycle of their products. This shift is helping us in our restoration efforts, reduce pollution, and encourage more sustainable production systems. And this is important for us, and the private sector, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, I know we have had this conversation on the EPR. This was one of the things that I think as a government we had lacked for over several decades, and we needed to do it. And we're happy that this is on course, and we appreciate your support. That at the same time, we continue to strengthen our response to emerging environmental challenges, including hazardous waste management and electronic waste. Our goal is to transition from reactive enforcement to proactive, intelligence-led environmental governance that prevents environmental harm before it occurs. A key milestone in this journey was the launch of the Kenya Online Continuous Emissions Monitoring System earlier this year. And this innovative platform enables real-time monitoring of industrial emissions, providing regulators and industries with reliable environmental data for compliance and decision-making, protecting our public health and supporting our climate commitments. Ladies and gentlemen, our climate ambitions extend beyond forests and pollution management. The recently launched Blue Carbon Ecosystems National Determinant Contributions NDC implementation and investment plan, and I know we were together the Ocean Conference CEO. It represents a significant step in unlocking the potential of our Kenya's coastal ecosystems. Through the conservation and restoration of mangroves and seagrass ecosystems, We aim to strengthen climate resilience, support sustainable livelihoods, and attract investments that contribute to long-term economic growth. And just yesterday, and thank you so much, Peter, the Kenya Forest Service, alongside the Absa Foundation, led a total of 4,124 people to shatter the Guinness World Record title in achieving the world record on the most people planting mangrove trees. That was also important, and we truly appreciate the support from Safaricom. No, you cannot talk about M-Pesa without Safaricom, whichever. We truly appreciate your support. These initiatives, ladies and gentlemen, reflect a broader reality that climate action is increasingly an economic opportunity. Countries and institutions that invest in sustainability today will be better positioned to compete, innovate, and prosper in the future. This is particularly important as Kenya works towards achieving the targets set out in its second nationally determined contribution. Our goal is ambitious, but achievable if supported by strong partnerships, innovation, and adequate financing. I have also paid keen attention to Absa's continued investment in youth empowerment. Young people are central to Kenya's sustainability journey. Through initiatives such as the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, the NYOTA program, the government is promoting entrepreneurship, financial inclusion, environmental stewardship, and job creation, dispersing up to Kenya shillings 3 billion to more than 122,000 young entrepreneurs across the country. We are equally exploring opportunities to harness youth-friendly emerging technologies such as AI and geographic information systems, GIS, to strengthen climate monitoring, ecosystem restoration, and environmental management. The focus for the youth by the Absa Bank provides the much needed boost to these government programs, inching us closer to solving the youth and employment challenge in Kenya today. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, climate change is already affecting livelihoods, infrastructure ecosystems, and economic productivity. The cost of inaction continues to rise, making climate investment not only an environmental necessity, but also a sound economic decision. These climate risks have increasingly become financial risks. The resilience of our economies, businesses, and communities will depend on the choices we make today. The banking sector has a unique opportunity and responsibility to accelerate the transition to a green and resilient economy by supporting innovative financing, solutions for restoration, renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, circular economy enterprises, and carbon market development. I therefore call upon Absa and all partners represented here to deepen their investments in agroforestry, commercial forestry, bamboo production, ecosystem restoration, and other nature-based solutions that generate both environmental and economic returns. Ladies and gentlemen, the true measure of our ambition lies in these actions that follow. By working together to scale solutions and deepen collaboration, we can create enduring economic, social, and environmental values that extend well beyond our generation. Asanteni sana, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Engineer. And before you leave the stage, I have a gift for you, courtesy of Azavi. A round of applause as I give the PS a gift. There you go. Those are very nice dried pineapple chips, because I think they need to energize you even more. Let's appreciate him one more time. I think, Bwana PS, you'd be glad to know that M-Pesa works 24/7. And so I'll be giving you the M-Pesa till number after this for the till number. Yeah, the man bag is there and the till number for that. Thank you. We support SMEs across the board. Thank you, Absa, for bringing them here. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it on the speeches, and I can't wait for our next moment. And I can see the team is here to prepare the stage for me. Thank you so much for that. But also just to remind us that you may have wondered, wow, those were quite a number of conversations. Please note that Absa Bank, look at their tagline, your story matters. This is a bank that encourages people to share their stories. That's why we had a lot of good stories here, all right? Because it matters. For the ladies in the house, please don't mind. I know I've talked a lot about the man bag. We also have, I hope the pronunciation is going to be fine, tote bags. Yes, for ladies, all right? So for the men here, who probably at home you need to show that you're the man, feel it, you can pick one. Excellent. And also just to remind us that at Maxi, actually not at Maxi, at Miale Solar, Sustainable Energy, 0 initial costs if you go to them, all right? So feel free to do that. I think we should be ready now. And at this moment, I want to appreciate as well, in one quick line as well, that the Ezavi fruit snack, the one I've given the PS, is not about eating healthy, but reducing post-harvest losses in light with climate change threat. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me at this moment to invite to the stage our PS, of course our CEO as well will come along as well as they come here up to the stage. Also coming along as well will be some of our guests who have already spoken. And so I want to invite Armstrong to kindly come up here, Judy as well, and of course Dr. Peter representing our clients. Please come to the stage for the sake of that launch moment. Please come up here. I'll invite the rest later on. Please come up here. Armstrong, if you don't mind, please come up here as well. Yes. 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 Thank you so much. Yeah. Lovely. Those are our hashtags, as you can see them there. So feel free as well when you take these nice pictures, nice moments, share them with that. Absa Sustainability Report, building tomorrow together, empowering your story, and your story matters. Thank you so much. I love this. There's a whole neighborhood conversation. Yeah. You must be the center. Thank you so much, Yusuf, for that. Lovely. Okay. We want to play a video first, and then we'll have that moment come up. Charles is so quick to rush this. I know you have worked so hard on this. So, my guests, this is your screen. We're going to watch it from there, and the rest of us are also going to have that. However, the video ends with a countdown. My ask is this. When we get to the countdown, help me count it down. All right? Thank you so much. Take him. Give us the video.
At Absa, we believe in one simple truth, that businesses can do good and do well, that we can thrive today without sacrificing tomorrow. Together with our customers, communities, partners, and colleagues, we are on a journey guided by a shared desire to create impact that lasts. Over the last 5 years, sustainability has become part of how we do business. It is integrated in the decisions we make, the products we build, and the way we run our operations and serve our customers. That is why, between 2022 and 2025, we disbursed over 204 billion Kenya shillings in sustainable finance, supporting financial inclusion, enterprise growth, climate action, and social development. In 2025 alone, 26.4 billion Kenya shillings supported financial inclusion, 10 billion Kenya shillings empowered youth-owned and women-led businesses, and 6.5 billion Kenya shillings advanced climate finance. In 2025 only, we planted nearly 284,000 trees, bringing our total to over 1.8 million trees planted. We recycled over 96% of our waste, reduced Scope 2 emissions by 18%, and cut our energy footprint by 41%. But true impact is measured in lives transformed. More than 38,000 young people gained future-ready skills through our Ready to Work program in 2025, bringing the total to over 300,000. Through our newly formed Absa Kenya Foundation, over 50,000 people were positively impacted through our various community initiatives. And today, our direct and indirect contribution to Kenya's economy stands at approximately 4% of the country's GDP. Our people make it possible. Recognized as a top employer for the 5th consecutive year, we are building an inclusive workplace with a 52 to 48 female-to-male workforce ratio and growing diversity across every level of the organization. What a solid foundation to build on as we start our next strategic horizon. Horizon 2030, enabling progress, scaling impact. We look forward with a bold ambition to grow sustainable finance to 30% of our portfolio by 2030, reduce our operational emissions by 50% by 2030, achieve net zero by 2050 through initiatives such as solarization of our branch footprint by 2030, impact over 1 million young people via our Ready to Work program by 2030, and empower over 1 million entrepreneurs by 2030. The future is bright, and more so because we are shaping it together with our customers, colleagues, partners, and communities. Because sustainable progress happens when we all move forward together, empowering Africa's tomorrow, together, one story at a time.
Let's appreciate that moment. And there goes the count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's appreciate that moment. The 2025 Absa Bank Kenya Sustainability and Climate Report is right here. There you go. Lovely moment there. Makofi tafadhali one more time. Let's appreciate that moment. Colorful moment there. Asante sana. Beautiful moment there. Enjoy it. Yes. Dr. Ogutu should be here. Oh, you are right here. Excellent. Good to see you. Yeah. Excellent. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We have some more pictures to take. You're going to be given some nice things there. Yes. Yes. Just come closer there. And my other guests are going to be given something to hold. Give Dr. Ogutu one. You never know. Someone might clear their semester. So, yeah. Ensure he has one. You never know. Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go. So we're going to pose in a nice way. Make sure we can read the message. Excellent. Now, look sustainable for those pictures. There you go. There you go. There you go. Lovely. Let's appreciate that moment. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. May I request that I have Dr. Mombi kindly join up here. Actually, no. Let me start with Edward Kirathe. Kindly come up here. And Guy IFC, if you could come up to the stage, if you don't mind, for this. So remain right there. We're going to be increasing on the go. All right? Just 2 more pictures, then we're able to close this. If I may request, that is Edward, please come up here. Kyle as well, please come up here. Diana, if you're there as well, please come up here as well. Thank you so much. Lovely. We have more space. Please allow them to come. Please come up. Come on this side as well. Charles, usher some of them to this side as well. Thank you. Karibu sana. Welcome. Welcome right there. Please take that picture. Our lenses are wide enough. We'll be able to have all that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much. Aha, lovely, lovely, lovely. May I also request that I also have Raymond. You know, this photo is not complete yet. Please come up here. Please come up here. There's a use this route. This way, right here. There's a shortcut here. Thank you so much, Raymond. Please come up here. And Dr. Mombi, help you here. Just checking. Oh, yeah, excellent, lovely, lovely. Karibu sana, Raymond, right there, so that all the banks can know that you certified this. Lovely, lovely. There you go. There you go. Can the university student leaders kindly join me from the University of Nairobi and Strathmore? Please come up here. And of course, SME Bags Lady, Dr. Obonyo, and EABL Kimondo, I saw you around. Please come up. Please come up here. Yeah, this bank is about stories. We want you to share our entire story. And you know, this photo as well cannot be complete without the representation of the Nairobi County, Nasra. We need to see you here. There you go. I love this. I love this. The stage was green and expanded for this purpose. So, Nasra, please come. Charles, I need Nasra to be right somewhere close because of authority. You understand? They need to pass the bill so we can plant more. Lovely. There you go. There you go. Let's all give a good smile, a kind of good smile for that moment. Makofi tafadhali, asante sana. There you go. I request now to be left with a PS, with of course Yusuf and Armstrong as well, please. And Dr. Peter, kindly remain right there. And Judy too, remain right there for just one more razzmatazz. Dr. No, you are our host. You cannot go, Dr. You can never go. Yes, there you go. So please, first of all, take that. I will exit them in my own style. Thank you. Dr. If you could kindly smile nicely for that. Yes. No, Dr. One more with you. Neighborhood affairs are important here. Yes, there you go. Sorry, one step back. Yes. Listen to the lady. She's from CNN. It needs to go up there. I can clear this. No worries. I can clear this. Yes. Would you like it to be raised up? Is it heavy? Yes, it's strong. He goes to the gym. Hey, don't joke. Yeah, you see. There you go. Lovely. I think at the photographer's request, we shall do more photos later on, all right? Yes. Thank you so much. Later on, we shall call for one more. We'll do one more. Okay. They have insisted. Okay, so Dr. Peter goes? Okay. Oh, Dr. Ogutu. All right. Okay. Just now. Okay. My guests, I think the CNN has decided they will not go. Let them gym. It's okay. Steps are being counted. Yusuf and the PS kindly come back by virtue of request that today gym is off. Enough steps. Thank you so much for this venue. I've already achieved my count of steps so far, so good. Is that okay? Yes. There you go. Yes, that's it. Aha. It's by popular demand. Is that good enough? Excellent. A round of applause to that moment. Asante sana. Woo. Yeah, thank you so much. You can a handshake. In this country, we love it. Lovely, excellent. There'll be a QR code on the screen. Asante sana. Thank you so much. There'll be a QR code on the screen. If I could have that, please kindly scan for you to have access to the report. And as you're scanning, may I request Mwihaki to kindly come here. Mwihaki Washira is a Marketing and Corporate Affairs Director to kindly give the vote of thanks, and then we can close. Kindly scan for access to that report. Karibu sana Mwihaki. I think they decided you're going to freestyle on stage here. That's okay?
Good morning. Our chief guest, Dr. Engineer Festus Ngeno, and all protocols having been observed. Dr. Ogutu, I went to Strathmore Business School. Does that count? Yes. Thank you. So I'm an alumni, so I can occupy the stage. So as we come to the close of today's program, I'd like to, on behalf of Absa Bank, express our sincere appreciation to everyone who has joined us for the launch of our 2025 Sustainability and Climate Report. As I sat there, I said the little details made me happy today. I think the flowers, the tires, Peter and Yusuf, this is called landscaping. Yeah, I had you guys asking what are the stones with the flowers, landscaping. So thank you very much for this very beautiful setup. Our chief guest has walked out, but we really want to thank him. He gave us time today, 2 hours with his presence and for his insightful remarks. You've all been guided on El Nino. So please do the necessary investment. Is it 4x4 vehicles, etc. But just make sure we are ready for that season. Your leadership and continued commitment to Kenya's sustainability is appreciated. Our industry leaders, thank you so much for sharing your valuable perspectives. Raymond Molenje, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for being a friend of Absa. Thank you for championing the sustainability agenda at the Kenya Bankers Association. Edward Keraithe, we are together again in just a few short months. Asante sana. Judy Njino, always a pleasure. You always honor all our invites. We thank you and for your remarks and for your call to action and the commitments we all need to make. Dr. Peter Ndegwa, Rafiki Absa sana, as he said, twice in a week. We don't take it for granted. We thank you very much. Thank you for enriching the conversation with your insights and your leadership and innovation, and on being the great-grandfather or grandfather of sustainability. Asante sana for setting the way. And to all our partners, NASRA from the Green Building Society, the civil society, academia, the private sector, asanteni sana. And to our host, Dr. Ogutu, thank you very much. Your remarks, very well received, very timely. Thank you also for graciously hosting us. Thank you for having the students also grace us the occasion here today. And we thank you that you are doing such beautiful work that we all want to stand on the stage and say we are alumni of this institution. And a special word of appreciation for all the students, asanteni sana. Indeed, we are doing this so that we can have a better world, a better future for your generation. And we are very, very grateful that you're already participating in these conversations. And to the SMEs, thank you for showing up. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. We now know about the man bag. Dr. Ogutu, I heard you asking what's a tote bag. I will whisper to you on our way out what the tote bag is. For the beautiful oil that Judy you're using, if you all want skin like hers, you can go back there and get some of it. Asanteni sana. And please, you all need to know Renato, and so that he can let you know how to further your business and how to even grow it better. And so, as I conclude, I cannot do it without thanking our sustainability team, led by Charles Okabi. If you can just stand wherever you are, Rufus, Fred, Antonina, the team, the sustainability team, please give them a round of applause. You people are only seeing the work today, but it's been a year worth of work, so thank you very much to that team. And to everybody who has participated in making today a success, the MCA team, all the business people that we spoke to, the leaders that we saw on the screen earlier, also making their commitments, asanteni sana. So for me, to sum it up, is as we build this Absa brand that is so much loved, we have to build an ethics and profitable brand, and we cannot do it without sustainability. That is the footprint. It's about doing things right and building a business that will be there for the future. So let's carry forward the conversations we've had, strengthen the partnerships we've built, and champion solutions that create lasting value. So on behalf of the board, represented here by Caroline Armstrong, and the management and all colleagues at Absa, asanteni sana for your presence and for your unwavering support. Thank you, God bless you, and if you didn't have a cup of tea, we still have one outside. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, just to end in style, thank you so much. My name is Maina Chege. If you like, you can call me MC. Those are the initials of my name. And I appreciate Absa for letting me be right here. Please scan that QR code, get the report. Asante sana. May I request the leadership team will have a quick photo immediately after with our CEO as well, so kindly don't leave yet for that immediate one. But thank you so much. Asante sana. There should be some tea left. Enjoy it. We are sustainable people. We don't lose our food and waste it. Asante and bye-bye.